Hello everyone and welcome back to LSI F1.5 Championship. Thank you very much for waiting. We're back. We got a couple technical difficulties. We will have to restart the session after qualifying, unfortunately. So there will be a 5-minute wait in between the qualifying session and the race. So I do apologise. There's just been a couple things that are happening. So yeah, that's what's happened. Currently, we've got about 8 minutes left on the clock or something like that. A 28.4 is the current time set by Cohen. We've got a bit more time, I think, that he can get onto that lap. I know he can. But this is the grid. Cohen, Bassoon, Mizzy, those are the top three. Zingy, welcome back. Question, of course, as always, what is the tyre strategy and what lap are we going to be pitting for each tyre?
Well, it's of course going to be a hard medium, sorry. As every other track, however, I believe actually pitting lap 15 or 16 to get the most out of the medium tyre will be a viable option, meaning that you'll be able to undercut some people that might go longer into the race and also gain a lot of time. So I think that's probably the preferred strategy.
Fair enough. And Zingy, we're on board with Cohen. Can you take us through a lap if that's alright?
Yeah, I can sure try. Into turn one now, you want to brake around the 100-metre board, get the car nice and stopped. You want to rotate it in second gear like Cohen does nicely. Short shift up to third and fourth, he does not, but he gets the car nicely planted on the throttle. With the DRS now, you want to stay to the left-hand side coming into turn four, riding the curb a little bit, not too much because you might bottom out. Not touching the curb on the inside because you will hit it and go up into the air. Thankfully for himself, he doesn't do that. And it's purple in the first sector. The fast chicane now of turn 5 and 6, he negotiates it nicely and into the slow hairpin now. You want to keep it nice and tidy through here, and he does so on the traction nicely. Turn 9 is really complicated. You need to keep the car as straight as you possibly can through here, and he does it excellently, getting on the traction as early as he possibly can, and he's flying through the middle sector now. You want to size yourself up for this next corner. It's going to be a fast left-hander, and he's braking around the 15-metre board. That is great stuff from him, keeping the traction nice and smooth and coming through the fast right-hander now. You do not want to spin the car here, as it's very easy, and he's purple once again, taking a little bit of a lay at picks and running out wide on exit is absolutely great from him. And now coming into the last corner now, you want to brake about 75 metres, get the car nicely stopped and on the accelerator as soon as you possibly can, like he's done there. Car planted throughout the whole lap and coming up to the line now. It's surely going to be improvement, but how is it going to be? It's going to be pole by a 10th. He's done it. That's very good stuff from Cohen.
Yeah, brilliant lap so far, and that's what's going to have to be beaten. Bassoon's recently set a lap time, so they're going to have to dive into the pit lane and then come back out very, very quickly. Cohen, would he actually have time to get another lap in? I don't quite know. Is what it is. Robbo, unfortunately, they're having some issues. Their game's reset itself completely, so they're gonna hopefully be able to join in a bit. They've set a lap time, amazingly. We will restart the lobby, so luckily there's a bit of time for them, of course. But yeah, hopefully they can still have a good race. Chance of a safety car around this circuit is fairly high, so that's something to consider. Also,
Yeah.
sorry, Katana, Haish, and Andrews, they are all higher tier drivers. They won't be setting qualifying lap times today, so watch out for those guys. They might be trying to make their way through the grid. So yeah, check that out soon, Zingy.
Oh, Dave Raptors makes a bit of a mistake there as a road curb coming into turn 9. Losing the back end is going to be very easy there, so you just make sure to not ride the outside curb because, I mean, I just seen Dave Raptors kind of ruined his lap there. There's a yellow flag in sector 3. I think that just might be for a slow car. Sorry, I thought someone might have spawned there, but they haven't. But I mean, for now, Cohen's on pole with this is Vale making a bit of a mistake on his outlap.
Yeah, this is Vale trying to look for that momentum that they saw in the last race, of course, at Mexico. It would be great to see them to carry on. We'll have to wait and see, time will tell. They had a very rough first 3 races. The fourth race, first 2 races. The third race was a win. The fourth race, they want to try and make it a double. I think if I'm, no, actually Slippery Sloth won that race against This Is Vale. They had a very good battle back in the day. Now, if we get a new winner today, we will have had a different winner every single race this season so far. That's something that Cohen is looking for. That's something that Bassoon is looking for. He's won a race yet? because of course we had Mizzy, Robbo, This Is Vale, all winning the first few races. So there's lots of people hoping to continue the different race winner streaks. There's also a couple people that want to break it. 2 minutes 30 left on the clock. We're on board with Frantic to finish off their final lap, or are they going to go into the pit lane? They are going to cross the line. What's it going to be for Frantic? It's going to be a 4/10 improvement and a P4. Lovely stuff for them.
Yeah, the AlphaTauri is looking good once again in qualifying. However, in the races, we've seen that they've struggled to convert it. So is this another case of that, or do you think they'll break the deadlock today?
I think they can. This circuit is very, very good for overtaking, of course, all the DRS straights. So there's plenty of opportunities. There's plenty of opportunities to also make mistakes. As long as they just try and keep calm at the beginning, there's 29 laps to get through. And as I said earlier, safety cars are very likely. And if they do come out, they're going to be putting everybody under a lot of pressure. We've got This Is Vale going purple in the first sector. Let's watch on board until the second sector, see what their lap time is looking like. A 29.1 is their current lap time, just under an entire second of current pole position, Cohen, and he's also on a lap to try and defend that position. Pursoon, I think, are they just in front? Are they just up the road from This Is Vale? No, they're a bit further behind. We're going to stay on board with This Is Vale then, as we finish the lap, the second sector. They're up by half a second. They still need a lot more if they do want to challenge. They currently sit themselves in a P3 position. If they can get this lap in, this would be brilliant for them. But probably not what they want. They probably want that pole position at the final corner. What's it going to be for This Is Vale? DRS available across the line. And it's going to be a P3 in the end, a 28.3, brilliant extra time gain in that final part, but not enough. Bassoon goes purple in the middle sector right here. He wants to get that pole position. He might actually have a chance as he comes round into the final corner for the final time of the session. Is it going to be enough for the AlphaTauri? Are they going to be able to set the beginning of the event on and up? And they will. Brilliant, brilliant job. A 28.0. Cohen, is this their start of their final lap, or
yes.
Have they... Okay, they are going to go for it.
Yeah, so Cohen's got one more chance to get pole position. It goes right down to the wire once again with these two in qualifying. I'm pretty sure we've seen this in Austria as well with Cohen and Pursuit. These guys are very fast during one lap pace. Going through the first sector now, he's half a tenth up. He's purple to the first sector, but that won't be enough as he makes a bit of a mistake coming into the fast chicane, but he keeps it on track. He might have lost a bit of time there, losing the back end even more, but he needs to keep on pushing, he needs to persevere, and for his sake, hope he gets a pole position, but he goes wide again, and he's off the track completely this time, taking the alternative pit lane, which that's not going to get you pole position, I'll tell you that for a fact. Oh, he resets the track. Yikes.
Not what we want to see. Dave Raptors currently in P4s. They're going through, about to reach the sector line. What are they looking at the moment? They are improving by almost 2/10. Wouldn't be enough to get them a position, but they could possibly get to This Is Vale. This Is Vale is unlikely to go for an extra lap, so this could be it. Run the final corner. Can he get the extra positions? That's Frantic, Gilly, Vanakuki, Robbo all out, Gibby as well. Couple cars in the pit lane, and it will be a P4 in the end. They won't be able to get any more time, any more positions. Brilliant effort. JJ, I think he's the last car that can improve. He's invalidated. So that is going to be Pursoon on pole position. And Cohen, just unfortunately for him, missing out as he makes a mistake on his final lap. This is Vale sitting in a solid P3. Zingy, where would you want to be to start this race at Bahrain? Where's the best place? Because like certain circuits, it's better to be in P2 or 3, but what do you say?
Always P1.
P1.
Always.
So the inside is P2 at this circuit. Correct. You wouldn't want to be on the inside?
No, because you can take the momentum swing right around the outside. There's a lot of space. There's actually a lot more space than what people think. It closes in a little bit, but honestly, if you can just find that little bit of space, maybe not turn it in on them, but maybe tighten the angle so they have to turn more, it will be very efficient for you to go swooping around the outside and then obviously being in front.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. Alright, we will wait for the session to end, just waiting for JJ to retire his car, and then we're gonna have to go and restart the lobby, unfortunately. I do apologise for the delay, but it's what happens occasionally. In League Racing, here we go. Look at the grid. Bassoon takes pole position, Corin in P2, and then this is Vel in P3. Dave Raptors, Frantic. This is the rest of the grid. And then we're going to skim through the race director just in case we need to later on. And then we will be back for the race in about 5, hopefully not 10, but maybe 5 to 10 minutes. We'll see you in a bit. Thank you very much for waiting, guys. We'll be back in about a minute and a half, maybe. We'll see you in a bit. Ready? Hold! Go! Who's gonna get it into turn one? Pursuit gets away very, very well. Cohen, little bit iffy off the start, and there's a big crash. Mizzy's out anyway. I do not believe it. Already, they are in the bin. That's Cohen trying to get it back past. I don't know who got it there. 5-second penalty. But this is Vel says it's a severe collision with Pursuit, but that's maybe not actually legit. I don't quite know. Unfortunately, therefore, this is Vel. Gonna probably just have to serve that one. That is absolutely devastating. Absolutely devastating.
I don't even know how to comment on that. The lights just went out and all of a sudden Mizzy's in the wall. That was absolutely incredible. Not in the good way, of course. Maybe Mizzy struggled on those hard tyres to get any traction and then obviously snap. Unless his wheel has some problems that which we have established. I mean, I don't think we said before, but he had some wheel problems, so... I hope that it wasn't that, but that's unfortunate to be out even before the race has really started.
Yeah, it is such a shame. It's only a virtual safety car, interestingly, despite a massive crash right off the start line. Luckily, nobody else was involved, otherwise that could have been a very different story. Pretty much the grid is very similar to what it was. A couple of drivers have been able to make moves. Cohen wasn't quite able to get past Bassoon, but we're now going racing once again already. Dave Raptor's so close to the back of this as Vale wants to have a look. We got a big train going for it right here. Is Cohen gonna go for a move? No. This is Vale was going defensive. Almost had a look at Cohen. Dave Raptors gets a perfect run. He's gonna make that move. Is he gonna make it stick though, or is somebody gonna try and come back at him? Looking at the race leaders, Cohen dives to the inside line, and Pursoon doesn't have the advantage as they enter the corner, but now they get to turn two. He will have the inside line. Still side by side between the two, gets a bad run. That's Pursuit down, and Dave Raptors is looking for the lead in the Grand Prix. He's into the lead. He's got it done on that soft tyre. Interestingly, the soft tyre. Fair enough, he's making it work, but he's going to have to pit around about lap 5.
Yeah, Dave Raptor's making the most of a mistake, and now he's up to P1. He's absolutely flying, coming into the hairpin now. Pursuit's going to look for a move down the inside. This is small contact further back. He makes a bit of a mistake, and Vinyl Cookie's now going to be all over the back of him, looking for a back now, and there's Gibby! Gibby's spun it on the hairpin exit, and it's not looking good for him at the moment. Just a little bit of a snap, and that's cost him a lot of time.
Yeah, not ideal. We've got a bit of a train now separating Katana, the higher tier driver, making their way through the grid. They got Gilly right behind them. Benjamin struggling off the line. Robbo still seems to be affected by their issues earlier on. Yeah, Gibby Heisler, they're all very close together, actually. They look like they might be trying to go side by side or something. I don't know if Gibby's tyres are hot or not, but they're still in this race, interestingly. They don't seem to have any damage, but back with the front runners. Dave Raptor's running away with this tyre at the moment. He's got to be so careful that he doesn't have an overheating problem. I wonder, was it a mistake that he's on the soft tyres because we've had that restart? Or is it an actual genuine reason? I do not know. This is Vale sat behind. They're not going to go for any moves. No one's really going to go for any move. They're just waiting. Vinyl Cookie almost outbreaks himself, and he does outbreak himself. Makes contact there with Bassoon. Frantic is having a look, but not enough to make anything right now. That is a bit of an interesting situation there. Just a misjudgment.
Yeah, a bit of a mistake from, was it Persona or Vinyl Cookie? Sorry, I can't remember. However,
Vinyl Cookie, sorry.
Yeah, and so now that's cost him a lot of time. He's 1.3 behind with DRS. So these two, the P3 and P2, are going to pull away now from the rest of the group. And now Vinyl Cookie is going to be under a lot of pressure from everyone behind. First up is Pursuit. Will he go for the move? Does he have the battery for it? Who knows? Coming onto the straight now, it looks to get some good traction down. He's going to use a sprinkle of the battery. Is he going to go for the move? Into the fast left-hander. He's going to look for it at least. Down the inside he goes. Vinyl Cookie needs to hold it around the outside. He gets the traction down nicely. He loses the car a little bit, but on exit, he manages to keep it just about. There's a bit of contact, but he manages to keep it just ahead.
I think he was looking for the switchback. Unfortunately, it doesn't go to plan as he misjudges the moment to go for the return of the move. He's very, very close to the back of the Haas. Not too happy with what happened earlier on. Hopefully he's not got damage from the second bit of contact. It was fairly hard. Vinyl Cookie actually taking it to the pit lane, interestingly. No, they're not. They're just going to the inside as they let them go through. They didn't want to let Frantic through, though. Frantic was so close. He's now got the inside line. He's looking for the move on the Haas. Doesn't outbreak himself and make the move. Losing the rear does Vinyl Cookie. Frantic's a bit affected. He still has the advantage now. All over the rear end is Vinyl Cookie. Just can't get control of it right now.
Vinyl Cookie maybe having some issues with his tyres, possibly overheating, maybe going a bit too high on the pressures. As you see into turn one, obviously he made that mistake hitting the back of Pursuit. And now, so he seems to be struggling. Same as in qualifying, where he just kept on losing the back end, and there he goes again. I'm seeing the trends here, slow corners. He just can't seem to get the power down, maybe being a bit too, feisty on the throttle, but that's going to cost him a lot of time if he keeps on doing that.
Yeah, it is very difficult around this circuit to do so it's kind of understandable. And Andrew's actually up to P7 already. That's absolutely amazing for him. Yes, he is a high-tier driver, so you kind of expect it, but still, fair play to him. P7, and he's right behind, looking to possibly have a go at Frantic. Frantic already got a flashing light, interestingly, to end Andrews. Knowing him, he's pretty slippery in a straight line. He'll be able to make the move pretty easily. If not now, a little bit later. DRS doesn't really affect Andrews, like the DRS trains, I should say. He's actually looking at going for the move already anyway. DRS available. Is he going to go for the double here? As there's no DRS for the Haas, goes to the outside line, and that should be it. But Vinyl Cookie releasing the brakes to try and stay ahead. They might have the DRS here. Did they do enough to get it? Or does Andrews have it? No, they do not. Doesn't matter anyway. They've lost it. What a shame. What a shame. P11 it is for them right now. The tyres are done. Looking further up the grid, as that is Gilly, Katana, Robbo, and actually JJ, of course, leading this train. They're all pretty close together. They can't really make any moves on one another, but Robbo can as he goes for the switcheroo on Katana, who makes a slight mistake round the outside. The Alpine swoops, perfect stuff. Surely that's going to be the move. You don't go side by side into turn 10.
Yeah, that's a good move, but Katana's got a lot of damage on the front left end plate, so I don't know when that happened. We didn't catch it on camera, sadly, but he's got a bit of damage and he's surely going to have to pit unless it's minor, but it seems to be struggling a lot, especially against those older soft runners, which I wouldn't expect.
Unless it was recent, it seems like he might actually just be staying out at the moment. Benjamin, unfortunately, having issues 7 seconds behind the closest car. It does extend a little bit, unfortunately for them. That is a set of soft tyres there for Robbo as well. So both Alpines doing this interesting strategy. The game says you can go 8 laps on a set of soft tyres. I wouldn't say that. I'd say more about 6 to really 7 if you want to extend it. But the tyres just get so hot, you've got to be so careful. Regardless, Robbo looking for a move on Gilly. Gilly's going to go for it. JJ has run away, so no DRS available for Gilly. And that is going to be Robbo up. I doubt Gilly's going to fight it too hard. They do try and outbrake them, as they do have the DRS, but is it going to be enough? Is there going to be a switch back here for the Haas? Are they going to challenge? The straight line speed will still be there despite them having damage, and they've now actually lost a second position already, has Gilly.
Yeah, just a heads up quickly. Damage can actually make the car go faster on a straight line.
Fair enough.
It's because it's like less downforce and stuff like that, and then less drag and that. So this game works no matter what type of damage you have, even if it's a bit weird, then you still will get a bit of a straight line speed boost. Obviously, the more damage you have, the more lasting advantage you have on the straight. So I guess that's an advantage, maybe for Monza. Next season, people might try that tactic if it's legal.
Egapro actually tried that in the rain, Australia, of course. Looking at the grid, though, Dave Raptors leads the way by a nice margin. He's not doing too badly at the moment. He's gaining a bit on the straights as well. Is he going to go for the pit lane now? He's gained, like I said, he's gained quite a lot of time. It's just to try and get a gap and then go for the pit lane, be in clean air, and just put those laps in. And that's what he's looking for. However, the DRS train of This Is Vale and Cohen is going to be so significant that he's probably going to end up actually just losing time. These two are just trying to relax with one another. Pursoon is actually closing up, so they're going to have a bit of a, excuse my language, threesome very, very shortly. So that's going to be an interesting one. Frantic is actually quite close to Final Cookie, but still can't find a way through. Robbo, despite being on these soft tyres, he's actually looking to possibly make a move on JJ. And Dave Raptors, as I say, he's not losing time. It's absolutely bonkers. I don't know how these guys are staying out so long.
Maybe the soft tyre... Actually, I have a theory. In the race, right, it's this race, as you can tell, I hope you can tell anyway, it's night time, so the tyre temperatures will be a bit lower than what you expect. So maybe they're running higher pressures, which allows the softs to go a bit further. Maybe that's the key to this low tyre wear, sorry.
Yeah, it's fair enough. It could work, obviously, tyre wear-wise, but tyre temperature-wise, it would be a bit difficult, although, from personal experience, you can actually run some pretty high tyre pressures and get away with it. So, yeah, maybe that is what they're doing. Dave Raptors, though, he's going to surely have to go into the pit lane now. I don't know. Is he really going to stay out? No. I thought he looked at it then. I thought he looked, but he didn't. We're going to go on board with Robbo, because he's very close to the back of JJ. He's going to want to make a move, surely, very, very soon. Does JJ have DRS? They don't have DRS with the car ahead, so Robbo's going to power through, try his best to get the move done now, as the tyres have something left in them. Because he's only going to get slower, JJ's only going to be more of a threat. JJ has the DRS as they go into the braking zone. Is he going to try and stick it to the inside? No. Robbo manages to squeeze him legally. Also side by side with End Andrews and Gilly, as End Andrews makes that move after their spin earlier on, slowly making progress. Maybe we can see End Andrews get back into this one later on that medium tyre, which is not a tyre that I would expect him to start on, but he went for it anyway, so fair enough to him.
Yeah, differing strategy. For quite a lot of people, it's quite a mix, soft, medium, hard. And I also noticed as he passed Gilly there, he was taunting him a little bit, which I wouldn't do after I spun, personally. Karma might bite you in the butt there, but I mean, it already kind of has in a way, but yeah, End Andrew's showing a bit of what's the word?
Confidence, we'll call it. Let's just say confidence for now. And then if anything happens, then it might not be confidence.
The ambition outweighed the talent, eh?
Dave Raptors leads the way. 3.7 seconds is the gap. Is he going to be taking it to the pit lane anytime soon? I
have just thought of something, right?
Go for it.
Dave Raptors is on the soft tyre, right? And he seems to be extending it. He's not losing too much time, mind you. The medium tyres can go about, what? Let's be realistic here. 12, 13 laps before they start to go off. But before puncture territory, I'd say 18 laps. is he extending it to go to medium tyres, to do that soft medium? He'll be faster than the hard runners for quite a lot of the race until they put onto the mediums. He's already got a 3-second gap, so is this an actual alternative strategy that we're seeing for once?
Maybe. We'll have to wait and see, but it's risky, of course, because the tyres will be so dead. He's obviously made a lot of track position as he loses the car, so he's going to lose a lot of time there, but he's made a lot of track position, which does help him. We do unfortunately see JJ losing the car and losing lots of positions. That's dropped them down all the way to P11, so a heck of a shame for them. But I'm sure we can see them later on. Like 9 out of 29, still a long way to go in this race. This is Valcurrent. They're still working together to try and hunt down Dave Raptors up ahead. They're 2.8 seconds behind, so they are closing nicely now. They're only going to close quicker. Dave Raptors, it does look like he's going to go for that, interestingly. It's very strange. I didn't expect this. I think maybe there's an element of hoping for a safety car, because at the start of the race there is likely to be one. We only got a virtual. They still managed to get a very good start anyway. Will they go to the pit lane now? No. Okay, Zingy, I believe you. They are going to try and get it to work. I pray for their sake work.
Well, yesterday's race, if he was watching it, he would see that the guys putting onto mediums, myself and most other people, pitted quite early, so...
Frantic.
Yeah, Frantic is going around the outside of Vinyl Cookie. They break a little bit to get the DRS. Who got it though? I'm sure... Vinyl Cookie got it actually. Going around the outside, he's spun and he's collected Frantic a bit. Wow. Just coming out of turn 2, he lost the car a bit, and now Robbo and Frantic are going side by side into turn 4. Robbo outbreaks him a little bit, rides the curb, but he's going to get the switch back on exit. But will he have the traction? Yes, he will. Those soft tyres not giving anything at the moment for him, and he's now Frantic's up into P5.
Yeah, fair play to him. He managed to sacrifice what just happened there. Such a shame for Vinyl Cookie to spin like that, and luckily for Frantic, he's still in this race, so that was a close one. I think Vinyl Cookie just lost the car, if I'm correct. I do apologise for my background, but here we go. Robbo is going to have a look to the outside line, and he's going to swoop. That's Dave Raptors losing the lead of the Grand Prix. Maybe it is time to take it to the pit lane.
Puncture.
Oh, it is. It's a puncture. Robbo's going to have to be praying that it doesn't happen to him very shortly. I think they might have to both dive into the pit lane, and they are going to block each other by doing so. And Andrews is looking at a move on Frantic as best as they can. They want to just try and get a safe overtake done and then make that work. Yeah, and it is going to be Robbo extending by another lap as he lets Dave Raptors go into the pit lane. They're not going to risk anything. That is the rear left. What a shame.
Yeah, it's such a high-speed corner, so that could have ended much worse for him if he, say, was a wall there. But thankfully for him, he's kept it out the wall. But he's going to be absolutely miles behind. And he goes on to the medium tyre. I told you. I understand that. And here comes Gibby. Oh, wait, no, sorry, never mind. He was just overtaking people in the pit lane. And here comes Anders on Robbo coming into turn 5 and 6. He squeezes him a little bit around the outside, but he pinches him nicely, and that's him up into P4 on that older medium tyre, but he seems to be making it work at the moment. However, obviously, sorry about that, but Robbo's on the soft tyre, which, why would you go for it? As Heishel actually retires on the exit of the hairpin, and will that be a safety car?
No, it won't, interestingly. Okay, so there's a bit of a runoff, which it seems that's where the car has gone. Robbo was praying right there, I bet, but he's managing to hold on for now, so fair enough to him. It's working for the time being. It's just like a ticking time bomb at the moment. Maybe Dave Raptors was a little bit too aggressive on the tyres earlier on. Now, actually, something that I've noticed, the top two have split apart. They're not going to be in a train now, so someone might want to go for an undercut or an overcut. And Andrews, Robbo was fighting him, interestingly. Didn't need to, he's a high-tier driver. Goes into the pit lane.
Yeah, Robbo into the pit lane then. I mean, that's the wise thing to do. However, I'm quite surprised that he extended it. And here he goes on to the medium tyres as expected. He'll be going to the end of the race. A simple one stop, however. Well, I don't know. Will it be faster? Who knows? We just have to wait and see. Coming out the pit lane now, and he will emerge in around P12, 11ish. And Gibby's actually also into the pit lane for hard tyres as well, so he'll be looking to go quite far into the race.
Yeah, fair enough too. Vinyl Cookie and JJ pretty close together. Unfortunately, I didn't check to see if Vinyl Cookie made the move or if JJ has just caught up. We'll have to see how that goes in a little while. Dave Raptors is in P12. I could have sworn I just saw somebody change around positions. Now, both Alpines are actually pretty close together, interestingly. So that undercut is very, very beneficial. So well done to Dave Raptors, I guess. He didn't really have a choice, did he? But it is what it is. So they're going to be trying their best to go to the end. They've got Benjamin in between, who's on some fairly old medium tyres. So it shouldn't really be too much of a problem once they are nice and warmed up, of course. Everybody else is kind of split. JJ, Vanna Cookie, they have spread out a little bit. Benjamin, he's still trying to push for it. Even though it's not for position, they're on different strategies. Chances are he can't push into the S section, but he does. He does hold on, which is very, very strange. It works. DRS is going to be available. It looks like he might want to push. He should pit this lap, really, if not the next lap, but it doesn't look like he wants to. It looks like he does want to go for a bit of a battle. Is he going to go to the pit lane? No, he will not. He is going to push for it. ERS is held down firmly. DRS available to the inside line. He goes, and that will be the move done. He's going to make it stick. Robbo has to wait.
Oh, it's Dave Raptors nearly runs right into the back of his teammate, and he's actually getting the overtake done on Robbo. That's incredible. Dave Raptors is now going to have the chance to overtake Ben down the inside into turn 4. Ben holds the racing line. He moves a little bit just before the braking. He squeezes him all the way up to the curbing. Dave Raptors makes a move, Ben makes a mistake, and now Robbo's going to make his way back through. Oh, it's a massive incident. Robbo and Benjamin, they make contact on the exit at turn 4 and they're both round. Catastrophe.
Crazy between those guys. That's not what they want after their first pit stop. Robbo now's got a lot of work to do, and Benjamin has just risked pretty much for no reason, interestingly, because he's not on the same strategy. Very questionable stuff. This Vel leads the way, Curran in P2, and then we got Pursoon in P3. Not able to catch the cars ahead, but they're just kind of trying to plod along. This Vel, of course, has got that 5-second time penalty that isn't really fair, but it's what they've got. So they're just going to have to deal with it. Nothing we can do right now. That is End Andrews into the pit lane. I'm just looking to somebody who's quite close together. I'm not quite sure. I'm going to have to AFK very, very quickly. I'm just going to sit on board with Curran, if that's alright. Zingy, you're going to have to take over for a minute.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, the gaps are quite spread out at the moment, aren't they? 1.7 between the top two, 2.3 in between Cohen and Pursoon. Yeah, there's not really much to do, really, is there? As we see End Andrews coming out of the pits on the very cold hard tyres, that'll leave him susceptible to Dave Raptors, who's within under a second now. DRS should be available anytime soon. You'll see coming through the turn 4 in the middle sector now. Of course, you guys can't see. However, I'll talk you through it coming through the fast 5s and 6. He's getting really close to him now. As he's weaving all over the place, he's really struggling for tyre temperature. He's right within the DRS zone. He's right up behind him. Coming into turn 9, he won't go for a move here, will he? No, probably not. And now coming out of turn 9, he's not going to have the traction. Dave Raptors is going to go for a move. It's going to go down the inside into over the straight, and now he's going to go for it now down the inside, and he's done it. So End Andrews on those cold hard tyres, he just couldn't make it work out. So that's unfortunate, and now End Andrews is going to have to try and figure a way back through on the hard tyre, which is, of course, the slower tyre for now, so it's going to be tricky for him to catch up to Dave Raptors. As we see frantic pitting, as he's got, you may want to watch this there, and he's got damage.
Interesting. Okay, so maybe something happened earlier on. Was it Frantic and Pursoon that made contact earlier on, or was it Vinyl Cookie? I can't quite remember. So maybe that's something that happened earlier on. Dave Raptors and Andrews probably wise for End Andrews to just sit in a bit of a DRS train here. Doesn't really need to risk anything. So if he could just get dragged along while these tyres warm up, and then later on he'll have the benefit and he can go for a move, that would be the more straightforward thing to do. Now, Bo Frantic and Vinyl Cookie, P9 and 10, they make their way out of the pit lane, just trying to get those tyres up to temperature as soon as they can, as Frantic goes for a bit of a weaving manoeuvre. Not going to be a penalty, he's way too far ahead for that to be affecting anybody. But yeah, that is how that goes for now. Thank you very much for taking over, Zingy. I do appreciate it. We've got some cars at the back who are fairly close together. JJ, Katana. JJ's made that pit stop recently. Katana also has made a pretty recent pit stop. Benjamin not. He made a pit stop earlier on, but he hasn't made a recent one. So is he going to go for another set of mediums later on?
I want to just divert from that Ben point at the moment, as we can see Dave Raptors and Tafari having a bit of a squabble over P5, as we see also End Andrews waiting in the mix, you know, just see if anything happens. But for now, it looks so he's just going to wait for the straight, get the DRS. Has Andrews got the DRS? He does. Remember that incredible straight line speed. He will come into fruition anytime soon. Dave Raptors is going to go right around the outside of Tafari into turn 1. Tafari will get the DRS, remember. Is he going to send it back down the inside? He has a little look, and he's forced him wide. Dave Raptors had to leave a bit of a space there, just in case, of course, he may have taken him out. If not, onto the straight. Now here comes End Andrews around the outside, the ball for him. Wow! He covers off the inside so he can't make a dive bombing manoeuvre, and he's up in the P4. That is fantastic.
Amazing move, well done to him. Tafari gets a 3 second as he tries his best to get back the advantage, but no, he can't do it. And Andrews, he's got those tyres warmed up and now he's going to be trying to power on through, but Dave Raptor's going to be furious. Still, End Andrews is a quick guy. You're not going to lose too much time behind him, so he can still get something out of this. We'll see. DRS is going to be available for him, so he will be able to make a move if he really wants to push it on the ERS. So we'll have to see how it goes a little bit later on as he actually misses his braking point, and Andrews, of course, is just ahead, so he's got to be careful. Now, Vale into the pit lane, serving the time penalty, unfortunately. I wish you had the option to change it, but no. Serving the time penalty is what they have to do, and they'll leave the pit lane. That's going to drop them, not behind anybody except from Pursoon. It will drop them behind Pursoon. And Cohen, of course, they were leading the race.
Yeah, it will be on the fresh medium tyres, and even a little bit of a cold medium tyre will be quicker than the hards that I have discovered, so hopefully for his sake he can get himself back into the fight. Remember, he did have about 3-4 seconds over Pursoon and about 2 seconds over Cohen, so if this works out to my incredible calculations, which I didn't do too well in maths, that it should be that hopefully for his sake he should be in the fight somewhat. We'll just have to watch that gap. Let's monitor it and see where we'll come back out. As Dave Raptors and End Andrews are going for a bit of a tussle once again, and End Andrews retains position. So Dave Raptors can't find a way through it. He's really struggling. He's on that faster tyre, but Andrews just has the straight line speed, and he is also a quick driver. Don't discount that. So he's a really tough cookie to get by, isn't he?
Yeah, they need to be trying to, I guess, work together. Lap 17 out of 29. I would say you've got a long way to go, but slowly picking through the laps. So they do have to be wise in how they do this. If they can catch the cars ahead, that would be amazing.
They're both in the pit lane.
Both into the pit lane. Curran, of course, leads the way. He's going to be the race leader. This is Vale. Unfortunately, will not have that. Pursoon might have a chance to catch it. He's got fresh tyres. Let's see who performs better on the medium tyre. Obviously, they get more grip. Maybe somebody's setup is more suited to a different tyre. We'll have to wait and see. But Curran leads the way. This Vale is pretty close. His tyres are going to be nice and warm as he tried to pit early for that undercut. So he might be able to catch up to Pursoon here, and he's going to have to charge if he wants to get to Curran.
Okay, maybe the maths isn't so bad after all, because he's right up behind him now, and he's on that fresh medium tyre, so, well, the fresh and hotter medium tyre, should I say. They're one lap older, so he will have heat into them. As you can just see for the fast right-left, he just can't get any any bite into the tyre. It's just so slow. That's not dissing the driver, it's just the tyres are just so cold that he just can't get any grip. So, coming into turn 9 now, will he be pressured into a mistake on these very treacherous conditions? He's not, but look at the traction from Mrs. Vale. It's absolutely sublime, going down the inside, and he just rocket past him. No competition whatsoever. Now Cohen's his next target. 2 seconds ahead. This is Vale was still in this race.
He's doing everything that he needs to. Doesn't want to waste any time sitting behind the AlphaTauri. Pursuit's probably going to be very, very quick, and he's going to be able to be dragged along. But this is Vale proved earlier on that they do have the pace when it comes to the race. So doing a great job at demonstrating that so far. Vinyl Cookie and Frantic were close together. Unfortunately, Vinyl Cookie lost a bit of time. And that is Frantic just going to be pretty much on their own now. They don't need to worry. DRS available for Pursuit. If he's clever about this, he won't challenge the Seville too much until later on. 1.7 seconds is the gap. Absolutely incredible as he goes for the fastest lap. He's unstoppable at the moment.
Yeah, this is Vale showed in the first stint. He was the one that pulled away, correct? He's the one that pulled about 2 seconds. He was.
Robbo?
So, yeah, Robbo is going down the inside of Tafari into turn 1 on the hards versus mediums. It's not really a competition, is it? Robbo makes his move up into P6 and he's going to get the DRS as Tafari actually spins. 18 lap old hards are not going to do it in these conditions. He's just going to have to wait for a time where maybe he can spin back around onto the racing line. It's fine though, he's just moved out of the way of JJ. But that's the old hard tyres then, I guess, eh?
Yeah, it is. You can't just thrash the throttle down, of course, as you may wish to do so. It just doesn't work like that. It's a mental game. You have to make sure that you discipline yourself to lift off the throttle. Difficult to do when you're trying to compete for top positions, of course, in races. Pursoon is right behind, 6/10 behind, I should say. And he's just relaxing at the moment, it seems. Cohen loses another 10th to this is Vale. Or you could say, of course, it was this is Vale gaining a 10th on Cohen. We'll see how it goes a little bit later on. Dave Raptors close to the back of End Andrews. They're still right there. Yeah,
Dave Raptors not giving up. He still wants to go for his P4. This would be a great result for him. Of course, Andrews an F1 driver. But the satisfaction of getting on track is just so much better than winning on the either time penalties or higher tier drivers. Into turn 1, is he going to go for the move? He looks for it. He really wants to make the move stick, but he can't at the moment. Coming out of turn 1 and 2, he's got the traction down well initially, but now in the second phase, he kind of just lost the car. So he can't really make the move at the moment, and the time is ticking away. Those tyres are going to get older and older, and End Andrews is only going to get faster, so that's the issue.
Yeah, luckily for them, they're still going to secure a P4, of course, because End Andrews is on a different point system. Robbo, great recovery from him. Yes, they have gone for an earlier pit stop, so we'll have to see if it changes a little bit later on. Their tyres might die significantly, and hopefully we don't see what we saw earlier on with Dave Raptors, but it's not impossible, of course. It could happen. Once those tyres get to around about 75%, it's pretty much RNG if you get a puncture or not. It's, of course, more profound on traction zones or high-speed corners. We'll see how that goes later on. Pursoon is staying behind. This is Vale. Not too close, but not really that far away either. And he's slowly, the Alfa Romeo is, catching up to Cohen. He's rapid in a straight line. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I mean, he's really fast in a straight line, but he also seems to have a great understanding of the tyre. He's managing to just coast it through the corners well. I hope I haven't jinxed him. But now the gap's 1.1 seconds. It's dropping every lap. Maybe if he uses a sprinkle battery, he might be able to get into the DRS zone. Let's see. The gap's going to keep on coming down. I mean, we've seen it before. He's just able to pull away, and he's shown now that he's able to close in under a lot of pressure. 1.1 still the gap, having a right left chicane, but no, he made a little bit of a mistake there, so the gap's still 1.2. It's going to be very crucial for Cohen to just manage that gap. He might not want to pull away, but if he just keeps him out of a second, he won't be able to recover battery or save tyres, and then Pursuit's going to be over the back of him because he'll end up getting impatient. So it's a real game that Cohen's needed to play at the moment. He can't push too much and risk spin, but at the same time, you just need to have optimum pace, really. That's all I can really say.
Yeah, he's obviously running a low downfall setup, as you can see how much time he lost in that middle sector, but now this is where he gains it. Is it going to be powerful enough for him to gain DRS? No, it won't, but he's going to be pretty close. Luckily for him, he's got 3 DRS or 3 straight very close to one another, which allows him to catch up nicely. But it's not enough at the moment. It's not working for him. Lap 22 out of 29. However, he doesn't have any time penalties from what he had earlier, of course. So that's good to see for him.
Yeah, of course, this video not having any penalties. Unfortunately, he couldn't get that one removed as it was before the pit stop phases, and as you said, wishing there was a feature that could change the course of action. Is Cohen makes a bit of a mistake coming out of turn 4. The gap is dropped, it's under a second now, he's going to be feeling the pressure, making a bit of a mistake. Maybe he's struggling with the traction a little bit, maybe overestimating the medium tires actually. Now, coming into the DRS zone, there's lights are flashing, he's under 10%, and that's it. This is Vale has got DRS. The game has changed, and now it's swings in this is Vale's hands.
Colin's just going to go onto defense mode now and do whatever he can. Maybe, worst case scenario, try and secure a P2. It's not what he wants. It will never be what he wants. Why would you want to secure a P2 if you can try and fight for a P1? Actually, pulls away a little bit in the S section and does manage to get out of DRS range, but this is Vale. He's going to be rapid on a straight. Is it going to be quick enough? No, he won't be quick enough. Cohen has just got out of DRS range there. This is Vale didn't want to use any ERS. Maybe they're confident on their straight line speed down the start finish straight, and they don't even need to worry about it too much, and that is exactly what's happening right here.
Yeah, into turn 1 now, he's got the DRS again. It might be a lap or two before he decides to make a move, but this time he might have solidified getting that DRS, and he has for now. Remember, he can't make any mistakes though, because you make a mistake, lose maybe a couple of tenths, and that's due out DRS once again, so he needs to just be careful. But if he plays his cards right, you know, he could save his ERS and then go for a move whenever, so it's going to be tricky, but he needs to just try his best.
Yeah, at the moment it's just a mentality game, as this is Vale loses a lot of time. Just looking at Robbo and, no, not Robbo, Dave Raptors and N. Andrews. Robbo is just letting End Andrews stay ahead right now, but no, he loses the car as we speak, and that is End Andrews unfortunately off. That will be him down the order. Robbo will go through. Don't know who else will go through. I think he's just about done enough. He has to stay off track to let the Alpine past. And then he's going to try his best to get back into this race. He might even be able to get back past Robbo later on, because his tyres will cool down a little bit. Fair enough for him to keep that out of the wall in that bumpy part of the circuit. Looking further up the field, this is going to be where it starts to get very, very, very interesting. Cohen is going to have a very good think about defending. DRS is available. Look at this. Let's see the straight line speed. ERS, he's not using it, doesn't need to use it. But as I said, he's got the confidence. Just watch and see what the gap is when we get to the end of the straight. 5 tenths, will it get to 4? It won't. It's probably did, to be honest. It's so close. But yeah, it doesn't display it as 4 tenths. 5 tenths, though, is absolutely incredible. That is scary stuff for that Williams to see. Yeah,
I'd be absolutely bricking it right now. If I were Cohen, I'd be trembling, that's for sure. These guys have been known for their very high straight line speed, Cohen definitely in Saudi last season, so maybe if he saves a bit more battery, he might be able to use that to his advantage, but obviously without the DRS, it's so tricky to save battery on the this track. But also, this is Vale needs to watch it for pursuing behind him. He's still keeping there in P3, just saving a bit of battery and maybe waiting for a moment for him to pounce if, say, these guys make a bit of a mistake.
Yeah, that is End Andrews recovering back past Robbo. It was into turn 1, and they were side by side through turns 2 and 3. That was End Andrews, of course, making it stick. So well done to him. The tyres cooled down a little bit now, and he can carry on doing what he was doing earlier on. Lap 24 to 29, his tyres are going to be, I will say, significantly faster because, of course, Dave Raptors, Robbo's tyres, they are a lot older. So yeah, they're going to have some interesting final few laps of the race. Dave Raptor's tyres are currently the age that you would really want to finish the race on. So
This is Vale.
still got a long way to go. This is Vale catching up to Cohen nicely. Is he really going to go for the moves this time? Cohen goes defensive, doesn't even need to worry too much. Slight bit of contact. He's going to have to leave the space. No. Legal squeeze. Very, very aggressive. Pursoon, will he spot his chance to go for a move? Is it even going to be possible with the straight line speed of that Alfa Romeo? Tried his best. He spotted the gap, of course, to the outside as Cohen gave it to him. Tried to go around the outside. It got very, very, very close. He wanted to stick his nose in as they got to turn 2, but Cohen covered it off.
Yeah, Cohen showing some great defensive manoeuvres at the moment, and that allows Pursoon to just catch up ever slightly more. As I said before, he's gonna catch and catch and catch Pursoon and wait for that opportunity. And if they made contact there, he would have been through for the lead. This reminds me of a certain battle a couple of seasons ago, eh?
Yeah, just a minor flashback. If you guys are wondering, go to season 8 of LSI Bahrain. You'll be able to check it out. And there are actually a couple clips of it. It was very, very crazy. The top 3 were battling. It didn't go quite to plan in the end. Cohen leads the way, and if history was to repeat itself, Pursoon would be in a very nice position at the moment. Lap 25 out of 29. Cohen leads the way. This Vale's going to have a second opportunity at making a move. You can see that flashing light. Doesn't even really need to bother too much at the moment because he knows that he's got Cohen in a difficult situation. He knows he has the advantage on the energy. When he wants to go for that move, he can just execute Order 66 and he'll be through.
Sorry, I got thrown off by your comment there, yeah. But let's hope he doesn't execute Order 66 because we kind of don't want to see Cohen in the wall, not going, let's just say. But this is Vale, is catching up quite a lot to Cohen still, keeping his battery nice and secure. He goes a bit wide there, but he doesn't lose too much time up to 610. So if Cohen just can keep it good in the middle sector and last sector, like he's been doing this entire race, then this is Vale might actually struggle to overtake him. Of course he doesn't have much battery, but he is slowly recovering it. Coming out of turn 9 now. Look at that traction he got. It's beautiful. He's doing great. So, you know, what's stopping Cohen from winning this race?
Yeah, I've got 1 lap fresher tyres, of course, which could be the difference later on. We'll have to wait and see. We have both Benjamin, I believe it was, and also JJ off earlier on. So, yeah, the tyres are pretty difficult to manage around this circuit, wherever you are in the stint. It's just such a technical track on the traction. And in the corners, of course, DRS available once again for This Is Vale. He's not in a position to overtake. I do wonder what is going through Pursoon's mind right now, because he's in a DRS train. It's impossible for him to really catch This Is Vale anyway on a straight, and it's going to be even worse for him to do it right now. He's pushing as well. The energy is pretty low, so he's got to be careful with what happens later on. He's also hoping that the top 2 fight each other. This time, This Is Vale looks like they're maybe closer than ever, or am I just saying that?
No, that's true. 3/10 the gap is now coming into the middle sector. Cohen, this is his good sector spell, so he needs to really buck up his ideas right now. But This Is Vale seems to have, well, I don't know, he just seems to be actually getting used to this section as he makes a bit of contact with Cohen. This is what Pursoon needs. He made a bit of contact and they're coming onto the straight now. He's not going to go for the move. He thinks fairly of it. I mean, you can't really do much about that. He's going to stay behind for now. Maybe give him a little cheeky, not send up the inside, but a little, like, nudge of encouragement, let's just say.
Yeah, a quick apology on track. Not what we want to see. Luckily, nothing's really happened, and if anything, there might be damage on This Is Vale's car. Unlikely, it was a very light tap, but yeah, he hasn't gained enough really. It was 3/10 earlier anyway. We'll have to see how it goes later on, of course. We'll see. DRS available. He's going to go for the move this time around. Cohen has nothing he can really do about this. Pursoon, as you see, they watch behind. They're not going to be able to do anything. This is Vale securing that move. They don't go to the racing line. They make sure Cohen doesn't try and jump him once again. Pursoon was hoping that those guys would have fought each other a little bit harder, but they decided not to, so he might have a bit of trouble. Curran, if he can just hold on to that DRS train, then that would be phenomenal for him, as we are on lap 28 out of 29.
Does it even feel like it? The race went so quickly. These three battling for the lead of the Grand Prix. Pursoon makes a mistake, and he's almost round. He manages to keep it out of the wall and in a straight line just about, but that might be his chances to win over.
What a shame.
Yeah, he was struggling a bit behind, but now he's lost it completely, maybe pushing a bit too hard, struggling a lot. But now it's these two. This is Vale and Cohen. Cohen's got less than 10%. This is Vale on the wheel. It looks as though he's got a little chunk. So this has got every chance of this is Vale to win, definitely. He's got one more lap to go, and after that 5-second penalty scare, let's just say, he's managed to get back into the lead of the Grand Prix. He makes a little bit of a mistake on the exit of the penultimate corner, but he moves severely to the right hand side. He does not want Cole to get any slipstream whatsoever at all. I mean, I wouldn't either if it was the last lap of the Grand Prix, which is about to be right now. Cohen is tailing behind. This is Vale going right to the inside, and whilst taking the fastest lap as well into turn 1. Cohen's got nothing, no battery whatsoever, so he can't even challenge into turn 1. This is Vale just needs to secure a decent enough exit, and he's done it, so this might be the end, but Cohen just needs to hang on in there and hope for a mistake.
Yeah, fair enough to him. We're going to quickly look at Katana and Gilly, as Gilly's going to be probably in a bit of trouble. He's got the DRS. The final lap, he might be able to fight later on, but he's going through. It is what it is. We're going to still watch on board with This Is Vale and Curran. Curran has his strong sector coming up. He's got one final hope of getting this win, but This Is Vale is looking for the double. The good news is Curran right now is going to secure that P2. Pursoon made that mistake, which allows him to have a nice breathing gap. So fair enough to him. He can secure this position. This Vale's running away with it anyway. He's got all the ERS to use, of course. He's just been sat there waiting behind. He's got a couple more corners to go, and he will take 2 wins in a row and break that curse. Absolutely amazing for him. We've also got the 2 Alpines who are having a little bit of a battle. That's going to have to be decided very, very shortly. But this man is the guy to watch. This is Vale wins the Bahrain Grand Prix. Absolutely incredible. Cohen P2, Pursoon will take a P3, and Andrews recovers and recovers again to P4 in the end for him. Robbo gets ahead of Dave Raptors. What heartbreak there for Dave Raptors. All that effort, and unfortunately on the last lap it's been undone. Fair enough to both of these guys to be able to take that strategy. He's going to let Dave Raptors go through in the end. Fair enough. Fair enough. Katana, a P7. Great job from them. Gilly lost that position, but their higher tier driver, Frantic in P9. Vinyl Cookie will take that P10 position. JJ is in P11. They're not going to be able to get too close. Unfortunately, Gibby, Tafari, and Benjamin, the reigning champion, at the back of the grid.
That was an insane race, honestly. These front three throughout the whole race were so much better than everyone else, miles clear. It's like Verstappen, Bottas, and Hamilton. Like, you know, it's incredible to see these three battling at the front. And This Is Vale, even with the 5-second penalty, managed to somehow claw back the time and then overtake Cohen on the penultimate lap to win the race.
Yeah.
Isn't that what you love to see?
Yeah, for sure. These guys are on another level, and you know, this is what we want to see, F1.5. They're putting the hard work in, and they are getting there. It's really, really good to see. Curran didn't want to get that P2, but it's still great improvement. We know how fast This Is Vale is, and for Curran to be at the pace he was in the past to now be where he is now, he should be very proud of himself for what he's achieved today. But yeah, brilliant, brilliant race. This Is Vale thoroughly deserves that. Breaks the record this season of 3 different winners and takes that double win. Is that going to put him in the championship lead? I'll have to double check in a bit. This Is Vale takes the win. Cohen in P2. Then we've got Pursoon in P3 and Andrews, Dave Raptors, Robbo, Katana, Gilly, Frantic, Vinyl Cookie, JJ, Gibby, Benjamin, the Fari finishes off the grid as they have a time penalty, and then DNF was Heisler and Mizzy earlier on in the race. We're going to skim through the race director just in case we need to in after the reports, I should say. Pit stops, of course, as well, just in case. And then we'll be back for the post-race interviews. We will see you in a bit. Hello everyone and welcome back to the LSI F1.5 Championship. We're today for the post-race interviews of the Bahrain Grand Prix. That was a pretty intense one, to be honest, we'll have to say. We start the interviews with Heisler. Heisler, not what we wanted. Yeah, can you take us through what happened?
Yeah, I had a weird snap on the virtual safety car restart, so I spun and put me to the back. I was catching up quite quickly, past Gilly some points, and then went wide in the first hairpin, I think. Yeah,
Right.
I think the first hairpin of the track. And yeah, went wide, went off track, and I was in fourth gear and went slowly on throttle. I thought it will be fine, but instead the game thought you're gonna spin and went into the wall.
Interesting. That's not what we want to see. I'm sorry. There's not really much to say. It's
Nah.
just painful in another race that will make
But-
the good results sweeter.
But I can't tell my strategy. It was
Yeah.
hard to soft. That's it.
Fair enough. Alrighty. Japan is the next circuit. Do you like that circuit?
I think so. I think I can do well there.
Fair enough. Alright, hopefully we can see you have a bit of a better chance. At that circuit, thank you very much. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
I like spinning.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Well done today.
Thank you.
And we move on to Benjamin. Ben, that was a bit of a tough race. You managed to not finish last in the end, as you made the move on the time penalties. I don't know. Where did you finish, specifically?
13th, 12th, something 10th, so...
Okay. Unfortunately, that's going to be a non-points finish. So,
Really?
yeah. I thought you're supposed to be in the championship lead by now. That was what was in the script, no?
No, not really. I mean, I'm not even on my setup to begin with. That's my name. My name at the moment is Alfie Power 123 Alfa Romeo. But, I mean, my contact lenses started drying up from lap 2, so they were drier than a nun's fanny, so that didn't help. And then I had a certain contact with a certain individual multiple times, so it's not fun, so yeah.
Yeah, tough race.
40 seconds behind, Seymour is already than anybody in front.
Fair enough. Yeah, not what we want to see. Hopefully we can get that sorted for next time around. Just some things out of your control, unfortunately. Thank you very much. On to Japan. Do you like that circuit more than Bahrain?
Yeah, more than Bahrain.
Fair enough. Just hopefully Nifo isn't there to ruin your race like he did last
I
time.
mean, yeah, that man ran into me last time, obviously.
Yeah, fair enough. Alright, one last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
I don't have 3 words to describe it. Didn't see anything. It's just
Fair
spinning laps.
Fair enough. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.
But
We move on to Dave Raptors. Dave Raptors, what a effort to try and get those tyres to work. It's such a shame that it didn't go to plan. If there wasn't a puncture, do you think you would have been able to fight for the win?
Yeah, I think I had a lot of pace around Bahrain, but obviously some things just out of your control with obviously the puncture. But I think if not a win, I'd have been fighting for a podium there with the top 3, which was really fast. But at least it's good damage limitation and got 4th.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Alpine will secure their or continue their team's championship lead, so it's still fair enough to you. Really well done, and to stay in the race despite getting a puncture. That's also something to be pretty happy about. Japan, if the tyres don't burst, do you think you will like that circuit more? Do you think we'll even try and go for something interesting on the strategy?
I think I'm going to go for something very interesting on the strategy, but just because I'm so bad at the track. Inter on a dry track, that'd be funny. But I just think I need to go a bit different, and because I'm absolutely shocking around the S's and sector 1 in there. But we'll do our best and try and do well.
Yeah, really well done. It was a great effort today. Good to see you at the top spot for a while, but unfortunately not what you wanted. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
I hate punctures.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Well done today. And we move on to Gibby. Gibby, a tough race. Yeah, couldn't get further up the order, it seemed. Can you take us through that one?
I mean, I thought I would get into the points this time. Didn't. But I'm happy I didn't get lapped like last race, so turned out pretty well.
Fair enough. I guess that's progress. Do you think Japan? Do you think you can possibly try and get up the order? What we saw a while ago was you fighting for the podium. So can we not see the old Gibby again?
I do not know, unfortunately.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, I hope we can. Do you like Japan?
Yeah, I kind of do like Japan. It's very nicely flowing.
Do you think it's better than Bahrain for you?
Definitely.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. Fair enough. Well, let's look for some points there. That would be great to see. Great effort. Thank you very much. And we'll see you next time. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Didn't get lapped.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Well done today. And we move on to Robbo. Robbo,
Hello.
same strategy as your teammate. You had a lot of hard work to do, of course, further down the grid, especially with all the bugs that you had before the race. So, are you pretty happy with that result in the end?
Yeah. I mean,
Regarding there was also no safety car as well.
yeah, which I was actually quite surprised. You know, me and Dave went soft medium, sort of thinking, look, there might be a safety car. It's Bahrain. You know, people are going to be fighting hard. And if it's not, it's still doable. Like we made it work. Besides, of course, Dave has a skill issue with managing his tires, but it was all right. And then sort of made a lot of positions up on the softs, and then was able to just keep it there on the mediums because we weren't going to get the top 3. They were just gone, especially after spinning twice. So, yeah, overall happy, to be honest.
Yeah, fair enough. It was a tough race to get through. So, yeah, well done, to be honest. It was a good job. And it was also always nice to see some interesting strategies, because, you know, we never see that in this game. Japan, do you like that circuit?
Yeah, I think I like it compared to like the majority of drivers. They just think it's like spin haven. So I've always found it an alright track. Just hopefully we'll be able to get a better quality position than I did at Bahrain. Hopefully no bugs. And then it'll be happy days.
Yeah, fair enough. Hopefully it goes well for you there. Really well done. And one last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Alright, so that comeback was for the fellas.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Well done today.
Thanks.
And we move on to today's winner. This is Vel. 2 on the bounce. You've broken the different winner every race, unfortunately. But still, really well done. Are you happy with that, especially with the time penalty that you had to try and get rid of?
Yeah, it was actually very unlucky for that to get that one at the first corner, but and I was trying to recover those 5 seconds throughout the whole race.
Yeah.
And actually, I think that if Dave Raptors wouldn't spun, he might have won. He might have won the Grand Prix actually, because he had the pace with the softs after the 10 laps, even after the 10 laps. So he might just switch to hards and finish the race, or maybe mediums. But yeah, it was a good one. But also, I am very exhausted.
Yeah, to be honest, he was still pretty quick even on lap 10, so yeah, he did a very good job.
Yeah, I had low downforce stuff, so that's why I was very fast in straight spot and also very slow in corners actually, especially on third sector and the middle sector.
Yeah,
But yeah,
we could
this
tell.
race- yeah.
It was very, very good.
Yeah.
Japan, that's going to be a bit of a difficult circuit to go low on the downforce, although not impossible. Are you looking forward
Yeah.
to that circuit?
Oh, it was. I think it is the hardest track of this game actually, and of the real season calendar also.
Yeah,
One of the
yeah.
hardest. Yeah, I don't know, but I should practice a lot there.
Yeah, awesome. Maybe we can see another This Is Real win. That would be good to see. Really well done today. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Straight saved me.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Well done today. Great job.
you.
And that's been it for today's race for this weekend, and I will pass you over to the delivery driver.
Thank you everyone for watching. Join us next time for LSI in Japan, I'm sure it was, wasn't it? And that'll be on Friday, 8 p.m. UK time. And join us again on Saturday for LSI F1.5. And I hope it's just as good a race as it was last time. So we'll see you then. Goodbye.